Hello, welcome back, everybody. We're going a little bit late tonight. Sorry for some of the delay to, in particular, you guys. And both me and Jeremy have been going along. But we're about to go into our third and final adventure of the evening. One which I have entitled Washed Out. But before we get into it, we are going to take a brief moment and, as always, get to know a little bit about our characters. Without further ado, we have a returning veteran here. For our first character we're going to introduce, we have Cyron coming back once more. Welcome, Cyron.
Hello there.
Cyron, you must be getting pretty close to your boss battle, yes?
I am getting close. That is true.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, in what new ways have you been kind of celebrating the Crypt Keeper's doctrine? How has your life been? What's new? You with me, Cyron?
Yes. I've been. Well, mostly after the last event I was a part of, there was.
I have a question. Quite a bit. Kind of like well, I was just gonna ask, what are like the rituals that you have to do? What is it? What is the day-to-day life of a Crypt Creeper do? Do you have to like, do you like visit with undead and like help them maintain their bodies? Do you do like stuff like that, or?
Yes, it's mostly just helping those who are undead maintaining their bodies, keeping it as fresh as possible, so that way they. Well, because while the magic does animate the flesh, it does not keep the flesh fresh, so to say.
Yes. I mean, does Cyron walk around with just like a whole bunch of formaldehyde? Like, is that on the list? Do you have like preservatives just in your backpack on the daily?
Yeah, preservatives, perfumes, like things. All important things.
Spices, flavorings.
I don't know if Cyron eats too many undead, although maybe also just some spices.
Yeah, well, spices is more for the food than for anything else.
Well, Cyron, it is good to have you back once more, and I look forward to seeing what you do today. Very well. In that case, we'll move on now to. This is quite a name, and I believe that you have adventured once already on this character, but I was not present for it, and that would be Smokey Resting Nap. Is that correct?
Yes, Pete.
Smokey, please tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a thief. I mean, a doctor. And I enjoy sleeping. I actually woke up here this morning, and they were like, "Do you want to do an adventure?" And I was like, "Yes, an adventure would be great."
So you mentioned that you're a doctor, not a thief. You're a doctor?
Yes, I'm a doctor. This dagger is for surgery.
It's sort of like a weirdly shaped like scalpel with a crossguard.
Yes, a scalpel.
Mm-hmm. What like particular branch of medicine do you practice?
Phlebotomy.
Oh God. Okay. Well, Smokey Resting Nap. Do you prefer Smokey, or do you like your whole name Smokey Resting Nap?
Whatever you prefer.
All right, we'll go with Smokey for now. Someday I look forward to asking you about how you got that name, but I think that's a story for another day. Welcome, Smokey.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we have returning once more, another veteran here. We have Lotho Goldworthy. Lotho, how are you today?
I am doing well. Veteran seems like a strong word, though.
Yes, perhaps veteran is a little bit of a strong word, but you've adventured with Bartholomew's crew before.
From time to time.
Yes. How has your sales been? If I remember correctly, you were working on your ale.
Sales are strong enough, in fact, that I've had plenty of time to work on channeling my ki. Haven't gotten to use it in battle yet, because last time I danced with some Koatoa and fought some stuffed animals, but I'm excited to punch something very hard, very
Oh,
many
yes.
times.
That was a that's a rather strange occurrence that I believe happened to you last time.
I can show off my dance moves, but not my fighting moves. So,
well, there may be call for that today. You're going to a place a bit less strange than one that's controlled by the Green Sun cult. So perhaps today there will be need for your fists in action.
very nice.
Welcome back, Lotho. And then, last but not least, we have another returning character. We have Ark. How are you, Ark?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, Ark. Also, I believe you've adventured a few times now in the land of DnDTime as well. The last I believe I saw you were taking down a pretty large number of robot Bartholomews, if I'm not mistaken.
I seem to recall something of the sort, but I can't quite remember.
I guess my question for you is, do you have any bear trap related, like how are your legs in relation to these bear traps? Have you been having any, have you gotten over just emotionally the bear traps yet?
Well, my therapist said I've made some progress, but I'm still working on it.
Yes, everyone, has to grow and improve at their own pace, and I'm glad to hear that you are. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, or well enough. Is this so? This will be your first time out since then. Are you feel ready to get back on the horse?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully there will be less bear traps, but we shall see.
Well, you are traveling as we get into our adventure. Bartholomew has sent you all to the Trash Kingdom, where there's actually a lot of loose scrap metal that's just kind of sitting around. So maybe not the best first place to go back, Ark, but I believe that you might manage. So as I mentioned, you are all going to the Trash Kingdom. In the center of the land of DnDTime, for anyone who is not familiar, is just outside of Central City is the dump. And all of the world's trash is teleported there by, the Green Sun cult. And it all collects in huge piles. As you kind of approach from the distance, at first you can kind of smell the dump, you can almost see kind of like the wafting stink lines coming off of the huge pile. And you can see teleporting out of the sky above it. Occasionally you'll see just a piece of refuse or debris just kind of fall out of the sky onto the ever-growing place. And from that location, slowly over time, it has become settled, as it's just territory that would be otherwise undesirable to most individuals. A lot of people have chosen to take residence there. So Bartholomew's quest for you was to get in contact with the dump's leader, the Trash King, who apparently is having trouble with one of his subjects. One particular knight has gotten pretty seriously hurt, and he needs you to investigate why. So where we begin, you walk through the trash gates over the kind of grand vista of the dump. How many of you have ever been to have the opportunity, are familiar with the dump? Been here before?
Oh yeah. Cut my teeth here.
Yes. As you're walking through, those of you who are familiar with it, you're noticing a lot of change. As you're moving through, you see, for one thing, there's definitely more people, but also it's more organized. Before, when you came past the gates, the Trash King was just kind of there waiting for you, but now there's actually what appears to be two guards standing at the gate that kind of nod you through upon seeing your crest. As you walk past it, there's roads that seem to have been kind of paved out just through foot traffic. You see farmers kind of hoeing in the compost commune. You see what looks like actually someone goes by with a wagon with a broken wheel and one square wheel that they look like they've cobbled together out of miscellaneous junk, and is pulling just a big pile of scrap metal that they seem to have gathered. And you see signposts that are directing you over to the ruined ruins, where apparently the Trash Kingdom's new kind of capital is. And as you walk, you're just kind of impressed by how more and more established this kingdom starts to reflect a real kingdom more and more each day. You work your way through kind of a small village out in these ruined ruins where various houses of stone have been erected at kind of varying angles in varying states of repair. People are living, people are working, people are hawking goods around you. You see, merchants kind of peddling fruit that is, partially kind of rotted out, but the best pickings out of the compost pile, things like that. You see a young man that kind of walks up to you. Banana peels, get your banana peels here. Anyone banana peels? And he's just got a whole big bucket of banana peels that he's selling. One guy kind of goes up and gives him a copper for one and just kind of starts chewing on the outside of it. Any interested in banana peels?
I believe I am very. I want to steal one.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Yeah, it's no issue. Like, as he's walking, occasionally even one will just kind of fall out, and you just like pick it up and don't give it back to him. Yeah, you have a spare banana peel. It could be thrown at a later time to perhaps trip up a clumsy foe. So yeah, you continue through the streets until you get to the large tower that the Trash King normally resides in, and you can see the base of it has been kind of built out into something resembling a keep. And there, as you kind of approach the keep, you can see what looks to be a man dressed in, rags, tattered rags, but they look like ceremonial rags. And he kind of calls out to you. Greetings, you are the adventurers of Bartholomew's adventuring troop. Is that correct, yes?
That is...
That's correct.
Very good. His Majesty, the Trash King, will meet with you. I was told to receive you at the gate. If you would come with me, please. And he kind of leads you forward and onward through into the tower. And within, eventually, you kind of, as you move into it, this kind of building that's now been built up around the base, you move into what looks like a throne room. At the far side of it, you see a throne that looks like it's constructed entirely of aluminum cans. And slowly you see, like, there's just like one dude with a trumpet that's kind of like bent and dented on the sides of it, who starts kind of blowing out, and that gentleman that guided you in kind of calls out, I give you the rancid regent, the putrid prince, the Duke of Debris. I present you now His Majesty, the Trash King. And you see him just kind of like walking in a little bit like uncomfortable. The Trash King walks with his silverware crown and sits down on the throne and just goes, yes, I am the Trash King. Welcome all of you to my kingdom. How do you feel about the improvements and changes that have been made?
It's looking pretty good up in here, Trash King. What have you been up to?
I've been mostly doing the things I always do, which is collecting trash and saying that I am the Trash King. A lot of people have started to give me advice lately. My advisors have been telling me I can't yell at people at the gates anymore and prevent them from entering. Which doesn't make a lot of sense, as I am the Trash King and the king could do what... I'm sorry, I'm very confused about this new role of leadership. Welcome, I need your help.
What seems to be the problem?
You see, one of my scrap knights has come back from a recent quest over yonder to the Vestament Vale, and there he has come back, and he kind of grows grave at this point. He's come back with the most terrifying of ailments. It is something that has to be seen to be believed or understood.
Oh, I am a doctor. I could help.
That is very good news. Bartholomew was wise to send you here to help me.
Of course.
This should go well.
Very good. And he leads you up into kind of the tower proper, and you move up into what just looks like it's the Trash King's kind of kitchen. But as you go into it, you can see that there is a man that's kind of spread out on the table before you, and he's wearing armor made of bright and silvery gleaming pots and pans. And he's just there kind of on the table, kind of laying back. His eyes are open, and he's just kind of like staring blankly upwards, and his arms and legs are kind of tied down to the table. And he's breathing pretty normally. And as you kind of walk in, the light filtering through the windows off the pots and pans, it's like so bright you almost have to look away a little bit. And the Trash King says, "Do you understand? Do you see what has happened to him?"
Looks like he's been strapped to a bed.
Well, he's on a table. That's a table. And it is a bed frame that he's just using as a table. But
I guess maybe you should have used non-stick pans. I don't know. What's the problem?
Look at his face. And he has a face as human. He doesn't actually have eyebrows, which is a little bit weird. He's a little bit pale.
Could I check him out with my medicine proficiency?
Yeah, go ahead and do you have medicine for? Go ahead and make a medicine check.
I do.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for it. And you kind of walk over and examine him. He seems relatively healthy. And actually, as you're examining him, he's just kind of looking blankly, but he kind of makes eye contact with you and just goes, "Oh, hello. How are you today, doctor?"
I am good. Could you tell me what is wrong?
Nothing is wrong. I feel incredible. Perhaps the best I've ever felt. So,
Then why are you strapped down?
And the Trash King says, "Look at his pots and pans. The rust has been taken right out. His skin, it's so shiny. He's been cleaned."
I do not believe this.
And yeah, you kind of look at him a little bit, and I mean, he looks immaculately clean. Like I said, he doesn't even have like eyebrows anymore. Those look like they've been scrubbed off. His face is kind of like a very like kind of washed out color. He, like I said, he looks pale, and the pans are sparkling for sure. And the Trash King goes, "Here, watch this!" And he takes like a handful of just dirt and grime and just dumps it on him, and it just seems to just kind of slide off onto the table around him. Does not stick.
Wow.
Are you not sure that you have goop between your ears? I was referring to your brain.
Right.
The Trash King kind of looks around at all of you. Just, do you not see the issue that? And he's kind of like fuming. He's like short-circuiting a little bit. His head's twitching. And you see the Potson on the table kind of speaks up. "Yes, I feel so clean. All will be clean in time."
This could be a problem.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely a problem.
Sounds like his brain's been washed too.
And he kind of thinks for a while. "That's a good way of putting it. I'm going to use this phrase, brainwashing. I've invented it." But it's very bad.
You are a smart man.
Could I open up your brain and see where that idea came from?
And he just kind of he just kind of stares up blankly, and he just goes, "That would cause blood to spill out. That would be unclean. So no."
Lotho's gonna jump up on a chair because he's tiny, so he can see the guy on the table, and just say, "Would you like a drink of ale?"
He thinks about it for some time. "May I see the ale?"
It's right here in this very clean cup I have with me.
And you show him the cup. May I see the cup? And he holds out his hand.
So I hand it to him.
Yeah, all right. He kind of takes his hand and just kind of rubs it over the outside of the cup and around the inside of the cup. And as he does so, like, it was actually a pretty clean cup, but all of a sudden after he does that, it's sparkling. Like the glass is almost see-through. Like you don't even, the glass is almost invisible now with how clean the glass is. And he says,
Wow.
very well, I will have a drink.
Take a sip.
And he drinks from it. That's very good. Thank you.
I do not think it is wise to touch him.
May I leave? I have so much work to do. Cleaning. There's so much filth here.
It is pretty dirty. I mean, would it be the worst thing in the world, Trash King, for him to go out and clean up a little bit?
Yes, it would be. It would destroy our way of life.
But think of the tourism. Think of the money.
We're doing very well, actually. We get a surprising amount of tourism.
Might I ask where you got clean?
Yes. I could show you if you'd like.
That would help. We might need to keep you restrained, though.
I would prefer to walk freely, but if that's what it takes to clean you as well, that's fine.
That sounds great.
Okay. Lead the way.
The Trash King goes, I don't know about if we should let him go. Don't let him clean my house, okay?
No problem.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, you're looking around and the Trash King's house, there's, like I said, there's a scent for sure. And just the surrounding, like, walls, there's just this thin layer of, I'm sorry, not thin. There's this thick layer of grime over everything within here. And as this man starts to step, Sir Potson, he takes a step, and you see he's just leaving footprints of polished stone underneath his feet as he walks. And he kind of steps down the stairs, and the Trash King kind of goes over and like resullies everything as he's walking. And it seems to actually go away. Anything that's on him doesn't seem to stick, but the stuff that he's cleaning doesn't necessarily stay clean. And he starts to walk out and away towards towards whatever destination. Do you guys all just kind of follow him?
I think we better follow him.
All right.
Well, let's go. Follow the footprints.
Is the Trash King following us?
The Trash King's kind of like staying behind. He's like giving this dude a really wide berth. The guy's hands are still kind of bound together. You untied him for a minute to give him the drink. But yeah, you kind of re-secured the fastenings around his hands. And the Trash King, I'm not coming near that thing. If Sir Potson can be sullied once more, he may return, but he is henceforth banished for cleanliness.
That feels a little harsh, but I respect your decision.
Yeah, it seems a little bit harsh, but this is something that the Trash King also seems very passionate about.
He likes him dirty.
He likes him dirty. As you all step out, kind of following the path of Sir Potson.
Lotho's going to walk directly behind him to breathe a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah, actually, he leaves kind of a pleasant, almost like lemon scent behind him as he walks. That's just kind of in the air around you. It's definitely the first fresh air that you've kind of breathed in since you've been in the dump. In some ways, it's almost a little bit stifling in another way. Like the lemon's just a little bit too much there, but it's definitely better than the dump air.
If we could get about 5 of these and open up a chain restaurant, this would be great.
I mean, I'm sure that Lotho could provide the ale, which...
Absolutely. We'll talk about that later. We're going to hook up. New flavors coming out next week.
What's the new flavor? Just out of curiosity.
Pacific Cooler.
Fair enough. And he kind of speaks Pacific Cooler. That sounds delightful. Let's continue.
It's very
he's kind
good.
of he occasionally will stop, and there's kind of, you see like there's a bookshelf that's kind of like on its sides, and he just kind of tilts it upwards so that it's no longer leaning at an angle. He kind of straightens a few of the books within, dusts it off a bit.
This dude is like trash Jesus.
Yeah, he just kind of keeps walking, and the place that he's leading to you with, he called it the Veil of Vestments before, was what the Trash King said. But for any of you familiar with the terrain, it's more colloquially known as the Ridge of Rags. And you're starting to see more and more of a concentration of old and like discarded clothing around the area, and you're also hearing kind of a distant rumbling sound, just like kind of a rhythm to it. You all continue, and like I said, it's just all old, discarded clothing. And then you start to notice, something kind of peculiar on the side of the path. You just see a stack of clothing that has been folded and pressed and repaired. And you sort of continue forward, and you start to see more and more of these. And as you're moving through this kind of area of the dump, you see like the clothes in this section have been completely like cleaned and folded. And the path that you were standing on, what was just kind of like dirt and nothing, has been polished to the point where it's like a sparkling white, almost like a bathroom tile that you're now kind of stepping through. The air here is refreshing, just like fresh linen. And you see Potson, it's so much nicer here. Don't you agree?
I'm going to have to agree with you, yes.
Indeed. Well,
I prefer the dirt under my claws.
very well.
I want to walk up to one of these stacks of laundry and knock it over to see if anything comes out.
All right. You push over the stack of clothes as they kind of collapse to the ground. You hear them kind of ting 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 on the porcelain, and they like don't come unfolded. It seems like they've been starched like extremely heavily. However, the stack of clothing itself does not appear to. Actually, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Like everybody, or just him?
Just him, I think at this point. Okay. You see something kind of like floating as you knock it over, because these are kind of stacks are fairly high and up around you. You can see amidst the stacks in the distance as you kind of knock it over, a brief glimpse of what looks like, I mean, it just looks like a puff of steam, but it kind of seems to move with some sentience and some actual purpose as it kind of flits through the piles of clothing in the distance.
Can I tell which direction it's heading?
Yeah. You can see it's kind of working its way towards what actually appears to be a pretty large clearing towards the center of this area. And this actually doesn't appear. I was going to say this doesn't appear to be where you're being led.
All right.
Could I take one of the articles of clothing and I'm gonna soil it with like some of my own lead to see if I can get it to come closer?
Okay. Yeah. You said some of your own blood.
Yeah, just like a little prick.
All right, you take a little prick off of your thumb and just kind of like smear, and there's just one kind of red line that now appears on a perfectly pressed shirt. And you see a brief moment later that kind of that kind of like puff of steam. You see Potson turns and looks at you. I wish you hadn't done that. And then that puff of steam kind of moves closer. And you can see it almost has a form. You can see like a face that kind of shifts and moves within the steam. It almost looks impish, almost devilish as it kind of gets closer. And it's kind of like right up next to you. And it goes to like grab the shirt. Do any of you do anything before it gets to that point? Or
I'm just gonna toss the shirt.
Just give it to him.
Very well. You toss at the shirt, and it just kind of clatters to the ground, and it doesn't like pass through it. The form of this creature actually seems fairly incorporeal. So as it kind of lands onto the ground again with like a ding ding because of the starch, it just goes over and puts its hand on it, and you see a rush of steam as the little kind of blood spot is kind of watered out, and the blood kind of falls off of the shirt. You see it kind of like some of it kind of soaks onto the tile, which then Potson walks over and just kind of brushes off with his foot, and it disappears.
Sir Potson, do you know what that is?
I know that it is clean. It has awakened me, and its brothers.
You said that you wished I did not do that. Could you tell me why?
It was unpleasant when I saw the red stain on the white shirt. The shirt was white. It should remain that way.
Yeah.
How
don't
many
blame
of these things are there?
And he kind of gestures around. Enough to clean the space. And you see, I mean, obviously a good amount of work was done. I guess only the machine would know how many exactly.
Is the machine where they came from?
The machine cleaned me, and he smiles. He could clean you, too.
Well, we'll have to see it first.
See.
All right. Do you? So he continues to lead you forward. That steam thing kind of disappears and goes about whatever task it's doing. I said probably slowly, just working on this whole section. And you walk through this strange kind of pristine section of the dump. You actually see up above you a new piece of trash just kind of falls down, and there's just like a shirt that's like sopping wet and covered in what looks like ketchup and like mustard stains and with some tears in it. And like very quickly you see like a few of these things come over and start cleaning it. And you continue to walk past, and eventually you arrive in kind of a little bit of an open section, and that rumbling sound that you heard before is getting louder. And what you see as you move into this is a strange kind of metal cube. On the front of it, there's like a circular like door, and it's just kind of making a rumbling sound. And inside of it, you can see like what looks like soap and bubbles kind of circulating in a rotating pattern in the center of it. On the top of it, it has all these kinds of like knobs and dials, and it's also got like two little legs and two arms, big metallic arms that it's kind of like dragging itself around with, and it's reaching out, grabbing like. At this point, everything here is kind of clean, but you see it kind of reaching out and grabbing things that it seems even dissatisfied with and throwing it inside of its body as they kind of jumble and tumble around.
A washing machine.
He speaks up. Yeah, it does appear to be sort of some kind of robotic washing machine. And he looks, yes, that is the perfect word. A washing machine.
I believe I'd like to hide.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna take one of my hand axes and hold it up to the guy and say, "Can you just touch this for me?" Just to see if he can make it. No, it's the guy. It's a Sir Pots and Pans.
Yes.
And just to say, hey,
kind
can
of-
you like clean this off for me?
I would love to. And he takes his hand over it, and sparkling and beautiful.
Man, that is nice. Look at that edge.
Even like a couple of traces of rust that were on it before are also just kind of vanished.
I do like that. So this washing machine, where did this come from?
And he kind of stops and thinks for a moment, and he says, "The master. It was a gift from the master." And he kind of smiles. At this point, the washing machine kind of hear it kind of starts moving in your direction on its robotic legs. The arms also kind of helping it drag along the ground. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna hide behind Sir Pots and Pans because I'm tiny, and maybe it'll be like, oh, it's clean.
All right. So we have Lotho hiding behind Potsons. We have Smokey resting nap, hiding behind just a big pile of clothes. What about Cyron and Ark? What are the two of you doing?
I'm going to exchange my clothes with some of the clean clothes from one of the piles.
Okay. Well, like I kind of described before, the clothes are like super starched and like just kind of almost folded shut in a lot of ways. So I need you to make me a strength check to try and tear apart one of these clothes before the machine takes notice. And also, Cyron, what about you?
Athletics check.
This is actually raw strength.
Oh, so just
Well,
strength.
actually, it's the same. I think it's the same thing for you. It looks like. So yeah, you're trying to pull it apart, but you cannot get this clothing unfolded, and you're there kind of struggling as the machine grows closer. You're off a little bit to the side, but.
Siren is going to take some of the formaldehyde that he apparently has on him that we established.
Yeah.
And he's going to pour some of it on some of the clean stuff, I guess, and see what happens.
All right, you kind of pour a little bit of formaldehyde. I know almost nothing about the chemical properties of formaldehyde, other than that it's associated in some ways with dead bodies. But you dump some formaldehyde upon the clothing, and I mean, with the addition of a more liquid substance, the shirt kind of becomes a little bit less rigid as some of the formaldehyde absorbs into it, ironically. And the shirt kind of untucks a little bit, but now it's also covered in formaldehyde. And the washing machine is like kind of getting right up next to you. It looks first to kind of where you would be Lotho, but you're behind him, and it just kind of seems to ignore you. But then it turns towards, turns towards you, because you are the most conspicuous right now with this formaldehyde-covered shirt standing out there, Cyron. The washing machine moves towards you. What do you do?
I pick up the formaldehyde-covered shirt and throw it at the washing machine.
Okay. You kind of pick up the shirt, you toss it at the machine. The machine, as it hits it, one of the arms kind of reaches out, grabs it. It opens up the kind of center section of it and tosses the shirt in. And then it kind of starts spinning around for a second. You hear it. It sounds like it's kind of like building up. And if you've no reaction, then I would like you and I think this would be you and Ark, because both of you are a little bit outside of cover, to make me a dexterity saving throw. All right, Cyron, you succeed. However, Ark, you do not. As the washing machine, all of a sudden it opens out and the shirt kind of flies out pressed, but that's not the thing that you're dodging. What you are dodging is the absolutely massive, the massive kind of torrent of what appears to be soap and bubbles and suds. As it hits over you, all of a sudden, all of the dirt on your body, all of your clothes become completely clean. Everything is pressed, and you watch as your skin kind of takes on a little bit of that quality, that you saw Potson had before. I would like you all to roll for initiative. Roll to GM, redo. Washing machine, we'll get an 18. And at this point, whoa, it's a little bit more abrupt than I meant to be. At this point, as you kind of are covered, you have this sudden instinct watch over you, Ark, that you have your friends, they're all so dirty, and you just want to see them be clean.
So dirty. We're so dirty, Ark.
And the first to act in this instinct, you also watch as out of the machine a couple more of these sentient puffs of steam. One appears to be steam. Another one appears to be just kind of a cloud of smoke or soap, like bubbles, pops out. So in this instance, the first to act is going to be you, Lotho. What do you wish to do?
Is Sir Potson, is he...
Sir Potson is adjacent to you. You're not sure what his whole deal is right now. But
so he's not, okay, so he's not currently attacking. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do to try to buy us some time. I have a jar of griffin grease. I'm going to, throw it on Sir Potson and then, run away. So it's really dirty, and maybe everything will go after him. So,
okay. Sir Potson is going to make a dex save to dodge this. Well,
okay.
Actually, go ahead and make me an attack roll. I'll let you just do it like you would do it.
So just okay, just an unarmed strike.
Yeah, just make an armed strike. I'll use the same attack roll. It won't do any damage. It'll just if you hit him, it'll. Yeah, definitely hits. So you toss and cover Potson in griffin grease, who's now looks furious, but also way more intent on cleaning all the griffin grease off than he is on attacking you at the moment.
And then I'm gonna. Is there cover? Is there cover nearby?
Yeah, you can duck behind a stack of shirts if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll move about as far away as I can. So I go 35 foot of movement. So I'll move to whatever place is closest to that I can get to. So. Okay.
You do so. You kind of duck behind this. You duck behind this stack, and you're a little bit out of the way now as you move as far as you can, which is going to bring us to you, Ark. Ark, right now. Your only desire is essentially to go over and attempt to grapple your allies, and in so doing, clean them up. But for at the end of your turn, you can make a wisdom saving throw to try and get out of this effect. But for starters, Ark, which of your allies do you go after? Is it Cyron, or is it Smokey, or is it... I don't think you can actually get quite to Lotho because of his quick speed. So you could go after Cyron or Ark.
Let's go for Cyron.
All right, you go up to Cyron. Go ahead and both of you make me athletics, or you make me an athletics check, Ark, and then Cyron, you can make athletics or acrobatics. All right. You you go to kind of lash onto him, and your arm kind of scrapes across. However, there's just one small clean streak on the front of your armor as Cyron kind of ducks out of the way. As it passes to, or you get to make a wisdom save at the end of your turn to see if you can get out of this kind of strange state you now find yourself. And you do manage to do so as you shake your head and kind of right yourself. In that case, it now passes to Cyron. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna summon my to attack it. So.
Spiritual weapon, you said?
Yep.
All right, you do so. What is your spiritual weapon? What form does it take?
A scythe.
Very well. This scythe appears. Go ahead and make your attack roll with your spiritual weapon. Of course, it would be a scythe. What am I thinking? Yeah, that is going to hit. You're attacking the washing machine or one of the creatures that came out of it, or Sir Potson?
Washing machine.
All right, the scythe cuts into the washing machine, and as it does so, it leaves a pretty deep scratch on the strange kind of metal surface of it. Go ahead and roll damage on that. 10 force damage, nice. And at this point, the washing machine, you see it kind of like shift a little bit, and all of the little knobs on the top of it, after it takes damage, turn and face vertically, and you see kind of the green light that was indicating like wash cycle just kind of flicks to red as you hit it. You still have an action if you wish to take one.
All right, then I am going to hold on. You know what? I'm going to use Sacred Flame on it.
All right, it's going to make a dexterity saving throw. I'll have you know that this washing machine is a little bit dexterous. Oh, but it fails completely. It did not have advantage for any reason. It was just a mistake. So it rolls a 3, and it's going to take an additional 4 points of radiant damage as the flame lights around the washing machine. You see it kind of burn from the inside. There's even more steam coming out of it now as this radiant fire catches some of the water within. That is all for your turn, I assume, Cyron?
Yep.
In that case, it's going to bring us to... actually, nope. Yeah, everything went... Yep, everyone's gone in order. It's going to bring us to the washing machine, which the washing machine is going to use its... the washing machine is actually going to use its rinse cycle. No, it's going to use its scrub cycle and summon two more soak methods. As it opens the thing, and 2 more of these kind of like bubbly ones float out, and they can't take any actions this turn. The one that was kind of made of steam is going to fly up towards you, Cyron. Actually, they're both going to fly at you because you just did a lot of damage to the washing machine, and are going to attack you. The first one's going to come after you with its claws. I assume a 5 misses?
Yes.
I can't imagine a 5 not missing in any world. And then the other one is also going to come at you with its claws.
That hits.
Oh, that should say soap method. You suffer in that case 3 points of slashing damage as it cuts into you. And 2 more of these things have now appeared. And that's going to bring us to, I believe that is Sir Potson, yes? Yep, that is going to be, oh no, I'm sorry, it is Smokey first. So Smokey, what do you wish to do?
I was hiding, right?
Yep, you were hiding.
Okay, I'm gonna speak normally for now because I'm having trouble. But
That's fine.
So the washer has like a big eye like thing, or like
it's got
the
like
cover.
the opening, yeah.
I would like to shoot that with my short bow.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. I'll give you advantage because you were hiding. 18 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage, and you'll have sneak attack as well. 6 points of piercing damage, plus an additional, from sneak attack? an additional 2. So he takes a grand total of 8 points of damage as the bolt ding, and strikes into it. You see the glass kind of chip and crack a little bit at the point of impact. That is going to. I'm sorry. Is there anything else on your turn?
I'll take my cunning action to hide again.
Okay. So you duck back behind. You duck back behind one of these trees, and the washing machine kind of continues to roll on as we get back to the top of the initiative. Or actually, I forgot to mention Potson, who spends his turn attempting to clean himself off. He's going to make a dexterity check to see what percentage of the griffin grease he's able to get off himself. He's actually doing pretty good. He's moving efficiently, but he looks like he's going to be tied up at least one more round, as he's just rubbing his hands over his face and just taking off this grease, which is coming off fairly easily, a lot more easily than it would have on anyone else. But he's kind of sloshing it off onto the ground, and he's just looking at you, and he just kind of raises a finger and kind of points. With his face is just in a perpetual state of a slight smile, but he looks at you and he just points and he gives what the best angry look he can muster in this brainwashed state is. As it passes back to the top of the initiative, which is you, Lotho. What do you wish to do?
All right. How far away am I from the washing machine?
You were kind of right up. You were kind of right up next to it before. So if you used your full movement, you could get back to it since you used your full movement to run away.
And does it have? Is this got arms that it's crawling around with?
Yeah, it's got a couple of arms and it's got a couple of legs.
How big is it?
It's like an above average sized washing machine. It's imagine a washing machine, but then put another foot in every direction.
Okay. All right. Can I get on top of it and rodeo the thing and stay up there?
Yeah. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. We'll call this a grapple. Contested by the washing machines.
Okay.
Which is 11. Yeah, you climb on top of it, and you got one hand kind of hooked onto the back of it around the panel with all the dials on it, and another hand kind of locked onto the door as you're now kind of riding on top of this washing machine.
Okay, can I make an attack now, or was that my action?
I'll say that that's not an action, just to ride it in this particular instance, since it's not a super big thing that you were climbing. So yeah, you're on top of it. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. Do I get advantage as I'm laying on top of the thing, or is it just normal?
I would actually say that it's still normal because it's also it's bucking around, so it's for the advantage of range. It's also kind of harder to control.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'll go ahead and attack with my hand axe since I'm up there on top of it.
All right. Cool. Go for it. Yeah, so you kind of take your hands off the side and bring the hand axe down on top of it. It kind of hits into the metal, but it doesn't leave too much of a dent. Are you gonna make unarmed strikes again, or as well, rather?
Yeah, I'll just try to headbutt the washing machine. We'll do that.
All right, go ahead and make an unarmed strike. Oh man! Roll damage.
This is ridiculous.
That's the game. You watch as Lotho just kind of takes his weapon and slams it into the washing machine, kind of gleaming bright from the recent cleaning it experienced, and misses. And it just almost seems like he's just kind of well, let's try this. And then the head just forehead first, and it leaves a huge dent in the top of it, which the washing machine, you hear it go as it kind of is it's definitely not happy about that one. Anything else?
Just gonna hang on for dear life.
All right, cool. In that case, we are going to move on to, I believe it was Cyron next, yes? Or no, I'm sorry, it was Ark next, and then Cyron. Ark, what do you wish to do? You are now freed from this strange kind of moment of mental ensnarement, is the word I will use, term.
I want to run up to the washing machine and attack it with my rapier.
All right, go for it. Okay. Yeah, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. 10 points, damn. You stab into it. You're kind of hitting the same place on the glass where Smokey did before, and it's leaving kind of like a larger chip. You see a few kind of like points of water are kind of like leaking out of the crack as the washing machine's trying to spin still. Anything else on your turn?
For my bonus action, I want to disengage and kind of back away from it.
Okay. Oh, wait, you're a rogue. Yes, of course you're a rogue. You get to apply sneak attack because you have your allies literally riding this creature right now. So it's like,
I got it, guys. Get him.
It's definitely sneak attack worthy. Yeah. So another 6. That was a pretty sizable hit. And then you disengage and back off from the machine. All right, cool. That's going to bring us in that case to Cyron. You have two of these strange kind of steam and soap creatures in front of you. What do you wish to do?
I am going. Let's see. You know what? I will attack one of them with my spiritual weapon.
Or so you want to move the spiritual weapon over to the guys next to you?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. That definitely hits. Roll damage.
And it's choosing to delay for some reason.
Is it not? Oh, I just tried clicking it again? Oh no, that's weird. Want me to click it? Oh, there.
No, I figured it out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you slice into this creature made of just pure steam, and as your sword swings through, it's incorporeal, but it does seem to do the trick. Like you watch as the steam kind of and the creature just kind of evaporates, but as it does, it's almost an explosion outward. I need you to go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, which. Just barely succeeds. As the steam kind of radiates outwards from the creature, you kind of shield your hands up in front of your head in time, and you are not too badly burned by the cloud of steam. Very good. And you said you had something else you want to do with your action, because that was just your spiritual weapon. What else do you want to do?
I am going to... Let's see. You know what? I'm going to use inflict wounds on the other one that's near me.
Okay. The kind of the bubble one. All right,
Yeah.
Make an attack roll with the inflict wounds. That definitely kills it, but go ahead and roll damage. I cannot fathom that not killing it. Yeah. Oh my god. 26 points of necrotic damage. As you hold out your hand, the creature before you just kind of shrivels in another explosion, this time of soap. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Which you also succeed on. You also succeed on. That was almost the sign of the beast, I guess, was speaking through me there. And that was a pretty impressive round as you killed both of those creatures and suffered none of the issues of it. Anything else on your turn? Do you want to move or do you want to stay where you are?
I'm going to stay where I am for right now.
All right, and you watch as the machine then, as it passes the machine's turn, opens its jaw, and 2 more of these creatures comes out. This time it's two of the steam methods, which are going to, they cannot act on the turn that they emerge, but the ones that can are the 2 soap ones, which fly over. Actually, just one of them is going to go up towards you, who's on top of the machine, Lotho. Make an attack against you. Does an 11 hit?
Nope.
And the other one's going to go against you, Arc. I assume a 23 does.
Yep.
For 4 points of slashing damage, as the 2 of them come after you. And that is... actually, it's going to roll. And that is all for the washing machine's turn. As it passes now back to the... it passes now to Smokey. What do you wish to do?
Am I close enough to the washing machine to make an attack at the glass again?
Oh yeah. I mean, I assume you're in kind of the same spot that you were last time.
Okay, I'm just gonna shoot at it again.
All right, go for it. 8. Oh, or actually, you had advantage because you were hidden from it, so that's a 19. So go ahead and roll damage and sneak attack. 9. Whew. And sneak. All right. You deal 13 points of damage as the bolt stabs into the machine. This time, a much larger crack is appearing on the thing. The machine's looking pretty beaten up as it gets to Sir Potson's turn, who finishes cleaning himself off and walks over to the machine. He's unable to take an action on his turn. However, he is now kind of out of this this intense state of just trying to clean as it moves over to right next to you, Lotho. Which is going to cut us back to the top of the initiative. Lotho, you have an angry Potson who is just very upset with you, but you're still on the washing machine, which is looking close to being down.
All right. Can I like jump down onto Potson? Like drop? Am I high enough to drop down on him, or is it just?
You're like a kind of like, because you are.
I am tiny.
Yeah, you're a halfling, so. You're kind of like at eye level with him on top of the washing machine right now.
Okay, well, I'm just going to take my quarterstaff two-handed and take a giant swing in his face.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. That hits. It's not easy to do. Sir Potson's got a lot of pots and pans on him. For 5 points of bludgeoning damage, you hit him, and it kind of rings. And you see his head kind of rattle around inside of the pots that he's wearing as a helmet.
And then I'm going to use my key point to do Flurry of Blows.
All right.
And I'll do one against Sir Potson and one against the...
All right. So the first one will be against Potson, and the second one against the machine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your 2 attack rolls. 19 definitely hits. Man, nice rolls. For another 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Swift strikes against Potson. But as you kind of go to elbow down into the machine, that one unfortunately misses. I think that's all. Seems like it's all for your turn.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and since he moved over there, I'm gonna go ahead and like jump off of the thing and get on the other side of it. So like kind of jump down the other side of it, so it's between me and him, and then move away a little bit.
You can do, but that will provoke an opportunity attack. So we'll get one.
Will
to hit you.
it be from having from both of them or just him?
No, just from him. Do you still want to do it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm gonna get down and get out of the way.
All right, he swings. It's a 13 hit.
No.
All right, Potson swings up. It looks like he just has a big pot on the end of a stick that he swings out towards you, which is weird because the pot has a handle. It seems like he could just swing that, but that's not what he's doing. And you duck under it and tuck behind the washing machine, kind of out of his immediate reach. And I think that's going to bring us to Ark. What do you wish to do? There are 2 threatening foes in addition to 2 of these kind of, or actually 4 in total of these strange creatures that are now kind of floating around outside of the machine. What do you want to do?
I want to try and thin the numbers, so I'll go after one of the, what are they called? The methods.
Yeah. Do you want to go after one of the soap ones or one of the steam ones?
I'll go after one of the steam ones.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. 6. The hand crossbow you fire and it flies just kind of wide. It's very wide. It's unclear which creature you were aiming at the end of the shot. As unfortunately as a rough roll. Is there anything else you can do on your turn? You want to bonus action anywhere or move?
I want to take bonus action to hide.
Okay. Do you want to kind of run into the same kind of section of the area that your ally
Smokey's in?
Yeah, the Smokey has in.
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, that's going to bring us to Cyron. Or I need you to roll the stealth check as well. 16, pretty good. Did I have you, Smokey, last time you hid, make a stealth check? I think I forgot to do that.
Yeah, you forgot. I forgot too, so don't worry.
Yes, it happens. Can you go ahead and roll me that now, just so I know where your stealth is at? Okay. In that case, we are now moving on to Cyron. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna attack the machine again.
All right, go for it. Move the sword back over. Or the scythe.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack with your spiritual. Oh, rough roll. The spiritual weapon, the scythe, kind of just dinks harmlessly off the outer plating.
Then I am going to go over to the machine and try to inflict wounds on it.
All right. You walk right up into the range of the machine. Go ahead and make an attack roll with your inflict wounds. A 13 unfortunately misses. As you go and try and pour your necrotic energy, drain the light out of this, drain whatever little life animates this construct, but unfortunately you're unable to do so. Is it all for your turn?
Yep.
The washing machine opens once more, and 2 more of these steam methods pour out as it continues to use its rinse cycle right now. And it's going to... it doesn't actually do damage. I don't know why that happened.
Can we get a numbers check on how many methods are out right now?
There's now 6 methods out, and there's pots in the machine, but the machine is like very close to being downed.
Okay.
But 2 of the steam methods are going to go after... actually, there's going to be 2 steam methods are going to go after you, Cyron, and then 2 soap methods are going to go after you, Lotho. So those are against you, Lotho. That's a 14 and an 18. Do either of those hit?
The 18 hits.
All right, you take 4 slashing damage as it claws into you. You feel like, as it does so, the wounds are not really even bleeding that much. It's just painful, and you know it hurt. But it also is it's very cleansing. Like your skin comes out looking very nice. And the steam method is going to slash into you, and I assume a 20 hits Cyron. That's the first one. And a 19. Do both of those hit? Cyron?
Yeah.
So you take a grand total of 10 points of damage, miscellaneous slashing and fire, as they kind of go and, like I said, your armor comes out looking sparkling, but you also feel an intense burn from the heat of the steam and from the physical strike. And that's going to be all for the washing machine's turn. There are now 6 of these things all over the place.
It was exfoliating.
As it passes to Smokey, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot the machine again.
All right, go for it. Make an attack roll. You do not have advantage this time, as it's not sneak attack, but it still hits anyway, and you do have sneak attack because there's allies in range. You deal 8 points of piercing damage as the crossbow bolt fires in. Sneak attack. As you strike it, the washing machine explodes. You see as it kind of fires up and kind of it explodes in a shower of bubbles and water and steam and clothing. Also, more than there should have been room for inside of it, kind of sprays up in this massive fountain. Everyone who is adjacent to methods, which is actually Lotho, you're kind of in a lot of trouble here. Potson's in a lot of trouble here. And also, Cyron, I need you to make me 2 dexterity saving throws.
Did you have to make 2?
No, I need you to make 4, and I need Cyron to make 2.
You need to make 4?
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
You're in range of 4 methods, which all die when the machine dies. Oh my god! Oh my god! Or actually, I'm sorry. I need the last two. I need those to be Constitution saving throws. So you're gonna get another shot at this too.
Okay. Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of those does fail. And Cyron, you are going to suffer 7 points of fire damage as these two steam methods that are right near you explode kind of in your region.
And I am down.
Oh man, Cyron goes down from this last kind of burst of steam, and you see you, Lotho, the two steam ones, you block your eyes away from those one, but one of the soap ones, the soap gets all in your eyes, and it's awful as you've been blinded. And Sir Potson also has to make some saves. He's going to make 2 dex saves and 2 con saves. Yep, you are blinded. And he succeeds on all of them. Oh wait, no, he shouldn't have had advantage. I don't know why he did. So he succeeds on 2 of them. So he's going to take a d8 damage. Oh, he takes 8 damage and is also blinded as the soap gets in both of your eyes. He seems to kind of relish it, but for you, it stings and it hurts and it's bad. As it passes now to his turn, he's going to make 2 attacks against you. He has disadvantage because he's blinded, but he has advantage because you're blinded, so it's just 2 regular attacks. Does a 15 hit?
Oh, yeah, they both hit.
Okay, so you take that many damages. 16 points of bludgeoning damage as the pot whacks in you as he just wildly swings with the soap in his eyes.
Yep, I'm down.
All right, Lotho falls. Potson kind of calms down a little bit as he sees you go down. Just, I'm glad to see that you are clean now. And kind of turns and looks in the direction of the 2 people that have been taking pot shots in the forest of clothing. As it gets to the top of the initiative, Lotho, I need you to make me a death save. You have 1 success. Ark, what do you do?
Potson's the only one up.
Potson's the only one up. 2 of your allies are downed.
All right. Can I make an attempt to subdue Potson and tie him up?
You would need to start off by subduing him, and then once you had him subdued for a round, you could attempt to tie him up. So it wouldn't be easy, but you could try and do that, yeah.
All right, let's try to subdue him.
All right.
So, athletics?
That is correct. So you run out to meet Potson. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. Oh, man. Yeah, you run out and just kind of, he goes to like grab onto you, but you just like duck under and like grab a wrist and kind of like pull his arm behind his back, and you have him in like almost a hold right now. He is currently grappled for sure. He's also blind, so he actually, yeah, he's in a rough spot right now. As it passes now to your turn, I need you to make me a death save, Cyron. You also have 1 success. That's going to, in that case, bring us to... that's going to be you, Smokey. What do you want to do? Your friend is currently grappling Potson.
Well, I'm going to stab him.
You're going to stab Potson?
Yeah, with my rapier.
All right, so you run up. You run up also, now seeing this moment of opportunity, and go to stab Potson. You have advantage because he's blinded.
I messed up.
Yeah, that does in fact miss. And is that all for your turn?
I'm gonna disengage, but move closer to my allies, and I'll stabilize them next turn.
Okay, you disengage. Actually, it took all of your movement to get up to him, and then you have to use your bonus action to disengage, so you actually can't get quite next to him. You're still like 10 feet away from Potson, but not quite next to your allies.
Okay, that's fine.
So Potson is going to take his one hand that's still kind of, or he's still kind of holding onto the club, is going to swing at you again with disadvantage, but he's just going to try and bring you down while you're holding on to him in hopes to break this grapple. but these are both at disadvantage. So a 10 and a 9. Do either of those hit?
Nope.
All right, yeah. You have him kind of positioned such a way, and at the end of his turn, he's going to try and not be blinded, and he's still blinded. The soap, it's just really in there, which, again, he likes it, but it's no good for combat. Which brings us to the top of the initiative, Lotho, and you should make another death save. Ark, you creep closer to death. Ark, what do you want to do?
I want to tie him up.
All right, I'm going to have you make a survival check contested by his athletics. Oh, man! Yeah, he is muscly and is not getting tied up right now. I mean, looks pretty hurt, but it's going to be tough to get through this last hurdle, it looks like. But you still got him grappled, and he doesn't seem to be trying to break out. That's probably all for your turn, unless you want to move away.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. In that case, Cyron, death save. You have 2 successes. Smokey, what's it going to be?
I want to try to stabilize Lotho.
All right, make a medicine check. Oh, Lotho!
Nice.
With his expert healing, Lotho, it's just kind of like almost like CPR, but just like the chest pound, where he kind of like presses on your chest, and you just take a deep breath and arise with 1 hit point.
All right.
I told you I was a doctor.
That medicine proficiency bonus of +2, pretty excellent. All right, on your turn, you can act once more, Lotho. Nice medicine check. As it passes to Potson now, who's going to continue to swing at the person grappling him with his pot sword. Those are at disadvantage. That's a critical failure. And a 9 again. He misses with both, and he is not blinded anymore. He finally gets the soap out of his eyes, which is a good thing, because that probably would have killed you with that 19 damage swing. Or maybe not quite, but that's top of the initiative. Lotho, you're back up and standing. You're kicking. You got 1 health, which is not great, but it's better than 0 health.
Better than what I had.
What's it going to be?
Lotho's going to come running in with his quarterstaff and start swinging at knees.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
And I do it two-handed.
All right.
Ugh.
7 misses. Unarmed strike?
Yes.
All right. A 15 actually just misses. Potson's got that big armor.
Oh no. And then how far? I'll like back away. No, I'll save it. I'll back away and I'll wait to see if I can hit him again.
Backing
next
away
time.
will provoke an opportunity attack.
Oh dang it! That's a stupid opportunity attack. I always forget about that.
Gets you every time.
Yeah, just 1 sec.
All right.
Hold on 1 sec. I'll go ahead and use my last key point to take the disengage. The step of the wind. Can I do that now?
That allows you to disengage? Yeah, absolutely.
To take the disengage.
Then, actually, no,
Yeah.
you cannot do that because...
Oh, because it's a bonus action.
Yeah, you already used your bonus
yeah.
action on every strike, so I think you're stuck.
All right. I'm just gonna hunker down then and see what happens.
All right, you hunker. That's going to, in that case, bring us to Ark. You got him grabbed onto. It's just this last step. What do you do?
All right, let's try it one more time.
All right, go for it. Nope. No luck. This man was a trained knight. He is pretty strong, as it turns out.
Everything except mentally.
Cyron, death save. You have 3. You're fine. You're stabilized. You're just unconscious, but still alive. As it passes to, that's going to be Smokey. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna shoot at pots and pans with my short bow.
Go for it. 12 misses. You can't seem to close this last little gap.
Is he not at disadvantage because he's grappled?
No, that does not impose disadvantage.
Okay,
Only
okay, cool.
restrained, only restrained does.
Okay, cool.
Was he distracted by my ally?
Well, you miss with the 12, so it does not apply sneak attack regardless.
Darn it.
Yeah, it's right down to the wire here. I mean, he's taken some pretty serious damage, but that's going to, in that case, be his turn, as he's going to keep going after the one that's trying to restrain him. But he's no longer at disadvantage. That's a 22 and a 19.
Jeez. I am definitely unconscious.
All right. You have been cleaned as you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage with the pot sword. And Potson kind of... better. And he turns and looks down at you at his feet. You at his feet, Lotho. As it passes back to your turn, what do you do?
I'll try to hit him with my quarterstaff again.
All right, go for it.
Come on.
Oh, no! It unfortunately misses. It clangs off of the armor. Unarmed strike?
Yeah, I like take a peek over my shoulder at my allies, and I'm like, giving them like, you guys got to do this. So I'll use my last key point, flurry of blows, and see what happens.
All right, show me what you got.
Come on!
Oh, hey, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. For another 4 points of bludgeoning damage, you land a resounding kick. You can hear something underneath the armor crack, but he is not downed. Oh, you're so close.
And I'm like looking back at my guys like, please help.
As it goes now to, as it passes now, it's been a brutal combat. As it passes to Smokey.
I'm gonna try to shoot him again.
Go for it. It's just a battle, and it's just numbers against numbers.
Oh my gosh.
The 15 misses.
I'm gonna take. He's not close enough to me to whack me, right?
Nope, you stepped away.
Okay. I'm going to hide.
All right, you run and hide. Make a stealth check.
Oh jeez.
All right. Potson swings downward at you with the pot sword. Does a 14 hit, Lotho?
No.
Does an 11 misses? Two swings, two misses. You cling to life just barely as it comes back to your turn. What do you wish to do?
Oh goodness. Let's rinse and repeat here. Quarterstaff, here it comes. Come on.
Unarmed strike.
Yes.
Oh, full damage. Would you try to describe your finishing blow on Potson? Do you kill him or do you knock him out unconscious, or what do you do?
No, I'm gonna try to knock him out. So
you can do that.
I probably don't have enough strength to kill him anyway. So I just like reach up and just punch him in the stomach, like right in the gut. Just try to knock him over, knock the breath out of him.
You kind of feint with your quarterstaff, like you're going to hit him in the head, and his body swings backwards. And with your left hand, you pull aside a chunk of the armor, and just a swift punch right to the gut.
Right to the
gut. And he falls down to the ground. And as he does, you watch as some of like the paleness, the pallor of his skin, kind of he fills once more with a bit more color, and you have defeated Sir Potson. With given time, all of your allies are stabilized, and you return to the Trash King's keep, where he speaks. And Potson eventually kind of also comes back, and he seems a bit more himself. And he says, "I'm so sorry about what I was doing before. That was fixed. I was not myself. I was so clean. Everything was different. I could just see this vision. It was a man, his head shaven. I could feel his will." And the Trash King, "This is a harbinger of dark times upon us."
You
But
call
for
him
now,
the master.
For now, brave adventurers, I do believe I owe you a stipend of money, and I also believe that we've gone very long again for the third time tonight. As he hands each of you what am I talking about? 100 Bartholomew bucks, and each of you gains a point of experience. And you have achieved victory in that adventure. Congratulations all, and thank you all very much for playing.
Thank you. Thank you,
That
sir.
was
Good job.
crazy.
Yeah, that was a close combat. There was a moment there where I thought there was 100% to TPK.
Yeah,
but
that was
everything-
so tight. Holy
Yeah, that would have been nuts, dude.
By the power of medicine.
That was a clutch medicine check for sure.
Yes, it was.